So let's talk about egg allergies more in depth here. Again, 90% of the people that I see with cancer have an IgG or hidden food allergies to eggs. So why is this? Take a second and imagine, what is the cells and what is the tissue in egg really there to do? That egg will become a chicken. So how does it do that? Each of those cells is programmed with information about how to become other cells. They're called stem cells. There's no feathers in that egg, but there's cells that are programmed to create feathers. So it's not the actual tissue itself, but it's more cells that are programmed. Well, if we look at, cancer itself, cancer cells, cancer is also tissue that is not actually like the tissue it came from. It's kind of lost its ability to know what kind of cell it is and where it belongs and how it should function. So in the same way that in an egg there's no feathers, in a cancer cell there's not that complete expression of the DNA where the cell's actually becoming the tissue it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to be. So there's an overlap, there's a crossroads between the two. One is losing its differentiation, the other will become more differentiated. And I think the problem is the immune system, in the intention of not making a mistake with this very important cell type, when it sees egg and there's an IgG allergen to trigger it, it will dedicate a lot of immune system resources. Okay, so it will so seriously distract the immune system from the surveillance that's supposed to take place to prevent cancer cells from growing within our body. We're making and producing cancer cells all the time. Anytime you make 1 trillion of something, you're going to make some incorrectly. But the body has mechanisms for that to prevent that from becoming a problem. But in the case of the egg allergy, it's not allowing the body to properly surveil and properly protect us against that egg, the cancer. The egg is distracting us from the job. Not only that, of course, with any allergen, we're going to create a higher level of inflammation and irritation in our system. So when we have immune system distraction plus inflammation and cell irritation, you're going to have a setup to create a case where you're going to have a patient become afflicted with cancer. And that's very often what I see in practice. There's a testimonial or two here that can help you understand really what the important aspect of avoiding your egg allergen is, and to making sure if the test did only that, it would be worthwhile. Even if people just did, and this is why I do this test with all my nieces and nephews, even if you just did this test to rule out an egg allergen, you could be avoiding cancer for yourself or your family in the future. And not just randomly or taking a shot in the dark, but really seeing, is this something that I could be susceptible to, that I can make a change to now that will change the function of my body going forward. Talk to anyone that's gone through the process of recovering or being treated for cancer, and I think they would validate that if you can avoid that, and here's a simple way that requires very little time or effort and honestly very little money based on the value of the information you're going to get back. Okay, so some testimonials here, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about dairy in the next video and how dairy allergens can be a major source of emotional disease.